Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Christian Garza in for Laura Papetti. Well, starting us off at noon, we're under a weather impact alert day because of hot temperatures and those windy conditions. So let's get right out to meteorologist Thomas Patrick in our Outdoor Weather Center for the very latest. Good afternoon, Thomas.
Yeah, afternoon, Christian. You're likely hearing a bit of wind from our microphone as our wind speeds have now crossed that 20-mile-per-hour mark and will still accelerate into the rest of this afternoon. And it's those wind speeds that are making the fire danger conditions elevated for today. And that's why we have red flag warnings. They just went into effect as of the noon hour, and they go until 9 o'clock tonight. So between now and 9, we will start to experience the strongest of our wind speeds. Maybe not strong enough to do damage in their own right, but definitely strong enough to increase those fire danger conditions to near critical levels. By the way, some of you may have noticed it has been a little bit hazy, smoky outside recently, and I've been tracking that since about 7 o'clock this morning. There is this trail of wildfire smoke that is expanding across the state. If you trail where it's coming from, there's a fire right here in the Olympic National Forest. It's called the Bear Gulch Fire, about 250 miles to our west, and the winds are out of the west, and that is blowing some of that smoke and haze our way. So that is what you are noticing. Thankfully, the air quality is still listed as good and moderate all throughout the inland northwest. So skies will remain hazy but sunny all day long with those winds very gusty and the fire danger high through about 8 and 9 o'clock tonight.
Thank you, Thomas. And because of those high winds expected tonight, the Kendall Yards night market has been canceled. Organizers say with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, it's just not safe for tents or the products vendors to put out. Now, the night market is scheduled to happen again next Wednesday. Now, although summer is coming to an end here in just a few weeks, state fire officials say we still have a few months left of wildfire season. In fact, this is actually the most dangerous time of year because of high winds and the hot and dry temperatures. The Washington State Department of Natural Resources says this year its response to fires has been prompt thanks in part to an accurate prediction of an above average fire season last year. As of today, DNR says across the state more than 60,000 acres have burned so far, with more than 40,000 of those acres coming from eastern Washington alone. Ryan Rodruck, the communications manager for DNR, says thanks to that adequate staffing and resources, crews have been able to respond quickly to the different fires that popped up across the state. But he wants to emphasize that we are not out of the woods just yet.
Until we see that season-ending precipitation event, we need to exercise as much personal responsibility as possible to help keep those fires off the landscape. The weather obviously has been very hot. This week we're moving into the most critical fire danger of the week today. And so really our request is that caution is the word of the day.
Roderick says this year they have more than 120 engines available to help extinguish any fires that may pop up, as well as more than 11 DNR-owned aircrafts and contract aircrafts around the state. Roderick says these aircrafts helped bring down well over 1 million gallons of water this summer. And with today being the most critical fire danger day of the week, Roderick urges the community to follow all state and local burn bans. Well, happening right now in North Idaho, Panhandle Health is conducting contact tracing to find out who could have been exposed to measles. This is the first confirmed case of measles in more than 30 years in North Idaho. The Panhandle Health District said an unvaccinated child in Kootenai County tested positive. Just a week ago, the city of Coeur d'Alene, found measles in their wastewater. Panhandle Health says the MMR vaccine is highly effective, and getting 2 doses as a kid could protect a child for life. But Idaho has a lot of people opt their kids out of the vaccine. The state has the highest rate of immunization exemptions for kindergartners.
So we're at 78% of kids have documented immunity, have the documented 2 doses. That's really low. That's lower than any other state.
If you've been exposed to measles, you could start seeing symptoms between 7 to 14 days. That could be anything from a fever and cough to red eyes and a rash. The Spokane Regional Health Clinic is doing a free vaccination clinic today. They'll have routine childhood vaccines for kids 6 months old to 18 years old. They'll also have some adult vaccines for people who don't have insurance. If you want to go, it's started at 10 this morning at the Salvation Army on Indiana and continues until 1 this afternoon. 3 local road construction projects had to shut down operations because local Union 302 is officially on strike. As of right now, there are 3 washed-out projects in our area that are paused. The paving projects near Pullman on US 195 and in Chewelah on 395, and the river crossing work they're doing on the North Spokane corridor. Spokane County says if the operator strike continues for more than 2 weeks, other road projects may be impacted. The Idaho Transportation Department says they are also addressing potential impacts the strike could cause on their projects. KREM 2 visited the union office for more information, but union leaders did not comment. After years of failed legislation, an Idaho Republican is taking matters into his own hands to eliminate the grocery sales tax in Idaho. He's trying to get enough signatures to get the issue on voters' ballots. Abby Wilt with our Boise sister station spoke with the organizer, who says the grocery tax is becoming unsustainable for Idahoans.
This is not a party issue at all. This is a citizens issue.
When Howard Reinerson goes into the grocery store, he says he doesn't want to see another 6% tacked onto his grocery store bill.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to repeal the grocery tax and along with that, the grocery tax credit.
He's working to gather just over 70,000 people to sign a petition, a part of the initiative process to get something on the ballot to leave it up to the voters.
And it dawned on us that you can use that for a good purpose.
If passed, the sales tax would remain for alcohol and tobacco in places like a hot bar at a grocery store with grab-and-go food.
You know, it's going to save you 6% every time you go to the grocery store.
It would also eliminate the current grocery tax credit, which was increased from $120 to $155 per person per year in this year's legislative session.
It's important that individuals have the ability to purchase food without having to pay additional taxes on that.
Reinerson says even with that stipend, at the end of the year, it's still not enough to make up for paying 6% of tax on each grocery run throughout the year.
Maybe of those people that are at the top of the list, like a mom and dad, 2 people, you're going to get that $155 per person. That means $310 coming back in the tax credit. You're going to spend more than that.
That was Abby Wilt reporting. The Mountain State Policy Center did a poll in 2024 asking voters what they thought. 87% said they were in favor of eliminating grocery sales tax, but legislators aren't in agreement.